Glory.
Hey.
Talks with
That's me.
Ace. Talks with
Hey.
Ace.
You hear that, don't you?
Hello, this is Glory.
This is Ace.
And this is the Glory and Ace podcast. And today we have a guest here, my baby sister, Eboni. Hi. So today is going to be another freestyle day.
Yes. I was gonna say welcome, Ebony, as well, but you talking so fast.
My
but
bad.
we good.
Yeah, welcome, Ebony.
So, Ebony, you have anything you want to say?
Oh no, I'm just ready to talk.
All right. Yes.
What's the first topic we want to talk about?
So, the topic today we're gonna talk about is dating people with kids. I don't want to say bad, but I don't know no other words, so we're just gonna say bad. So
Bad kid. Dating people with bad kids.
this bad kid. I'm talking about bad, not a little bit.
Can't take out in public bad.
Don't even want around your own kids bad.
I've never dated a guy with kids, so.
So let's hear from the person who never dated nobody with no kids. Would you date somebody with bad kids? Like if you was so in love with the man that shows you just everything that you
But
want.
if I'm in love with this man, that means that we've spent a lot of time together, which means that I would have had to
okay
be
let
okay with his
let
kids.
me back it up. You never met the kids yet, and y'all been dating, and finally he let you in his life on that side. But then when you get around the kids, you was like, oh no.
Like what if the kids live with the mom out of town? So that's why you didn't see the kids like that.
But then when you say it like that, it's.
No, what if? Listen, I see what she's saying.
Let me finish responding.
Go ahead. I was gonna say the guy has his kids. Like for me, I don't let females just meet my sons like that. So you didn't see him yet.
Okay.
But y'all went on several dates and you already like feeling some type of way.
Okay.
And finally you meet the kids, and after 1 or 2 outings, you just like,
Yeah, if I'm feeling like that, I mean your child is horrible. And I say that with all sincerity because anybody who knows me knows that I love kids. Whenever we have a lot of family functions because my family is like very close knit, so we have a lot of family get-togethers because that's just what we do. I don't know a kid that doesn't like me, and I'm not saying that.
sound cocky there.
I'm not trying to sound cocky. I'm not trying to sound cocky. It's just, and I'm gonna say this as a sidebar because we can use it. I remember how I felt as a kid and how I wanted people to approach me, and the fact that I dealt with some things that kids shouldn't see at a young age. It's like it was easy for me to adopt to knowing how to treat a child and making them have fun, giving them the option to be a kid. So too often people treat kids as if they're not human beings. And me being a fun person who likes to have a lot of fun, I remember how I felt when I wanted to have fun instead of somebody just telling me to go sit down, like I can't touch nothing, I can't do this or doing that. When I'm around kids, I want to allow kids, when they leave me, I had so much fun with TT Kino, or I had so much fun with Miss Kino. That's just me.
So you said you got told that a lot growing up?
What?
Don't touch this, don't touch that?
No, I was just using that as an
I
example.
thought you was bad.
No, like watching Shirley Grimsley Davis ain't play that.
Yeah, it was just a look.
Right. Sometimes my mama would just look at us and we be like, let's go in another room.
Yeah.
But in reference to kids, like that means your child is horrible. If I don't want, and I haven't met a child that I felt like, or have I?
That you can't reach.
I haven't. Even the kids that I thought
Kids that most people be like, oh, watch out for that child so bad.
I end up.
You do pretty. I don't want to.
I think of what it is for you.
Because I know how to, because you can't, you gotta meet kids where they are.
You know what I've noticed since I've been hanging around you?
What?
You very patient.
No.
Yeah.
She's good with kids. She is
No,
not patient.
I'm working, but we already know that I'm working on my patience with adults.
My experience with her.
Oh, gotcha.
But my experience with adults, I have gotten better.
I don't know.
Have I not gotten better?
I'm not saying that. I just wanted to, because he said you're very patient.
At the end of the day, I can only go by what she. Maybe she fooling me. I don't know.
I'm not fooling you.
But all I know is that she.
Thank God for growth.
She.
Thank you. I've come a long way.
I seen patience. That's what I see. So that's why I took it. I like, well, maybe she got all this patience. That's why she good with kids.
Oh, good, kid.
I've been through some eye-opening situations over the years, even as a kid. Like prime example, because we're gonna talk about forgiveness on another day. Prime example, my sister thinks it's weird that I apologizes to her now. That I will apologize to her now if I'm aggravated and I kind of like was short with, or like, is that the right word? Was short with her. When I said I apologized to you the other day.
When you got aggravated.
I was aggravated yesterday. And I was like real short with her. And then later I apologized. She was like, girl, we sisters. But for me, because I know where I am in my walk and I'm trying to be a better person, even though me and my sisters, we no longer, we're all three of us are now in a better space. But for me, I don't care if it's something small. If I know that I was acting out of character, and even though my sisters, we're close, we don't let little stuff fester between us like that, I still owed her an apology. And she thought it was weird. But I knew that I was short with her because I was aggravated yesterday. And I just felt like I needed to apologize, so I did.
That's good.
But in reference to kids, if I'm in a situation, honestly, I look at dealing with kids that are hard to manage, as some people or adults would say. I look at that as a challenge, because a lot of times you just gotta show them love, and a lot of times people don't. They be so quick to write kids off. Oh, he's just bad. He can't learn anything if you're not willing to teach him. He's a child. It's a child. You're talking about what a child was. This child is doing this. This child is doing that. You're the adult. If he's acting out of character, he or she is acting out of character as an adult, it's your duty to talk to that child. But a lot of times you talk at the child instead of talking to the child. There's a big difference. Okay. And a lot of people don't know how to differentiate between the two.
And maybe I don't know, if I were to, because I have a child, if I were to be with someone who had a bad child, to me, I don't want to have the patience to get to no, because I feel like stuff rub off, spirits rub off. So I'm already raising a young black king. I don't got time for them demons to be jumping on my child. So we just gonna exit ourselves.
But you know what they remind me of?
What?
When my grandma used to babysit. My grandma used to babysit back when we was younger. Anybody know that side of the family? My grandma, everybody knows she was like a babysitter. There was a child, we're not gonna say no name. There was a child that was just acting up. I mean, just acting up. And I remember my grandma was telling him to do something, and he roared at her. He was like, roar! Like, for real. And even as a kid, because I grew up in the church, I knew, I knew something was wrong, because he was acting out of his character. Because even though the child, he was kind of mischievous.
He thought it was a line.
He was acting out of character because he wasn't that bad.
He was a child that got in trouble, but it was always controlled at that house.
Right. So it was like when he did that, I could see it too, because I want to say I was probably like maybe 11 or 12, maybe a teenager or something like that. But I was old enough to recognize that. I was like, oh, something ain't right. He normally don't act like that. But when he roared at Rubinine, before I knew it, a backhand came. And then I guess it hit. She must have smacked the demon out of him or something, because she started praying for him, and then all of a sudden he calmed down. Like, dead serious. Me and my sisters thought that mess was so funny, but when we actually sat back and thought about it during that time, I knew then that spirits were real. if I didn't know, even at a young age, that opened my eyes.
Yeah.
Because when my grandma started praying for him after that, and he calmed down, I was like, wow. So this stuff really is real. And a lot of times we try to write kids. Again, we try to write kids off. Sometimes a lot of people don't pray for their kids. They say, look, quick 1 or 2 prayers, but sometimes you really got to speak over you. Not life. Sometimes, all the time, you should be praying for your child.
Ace.
Oh, I can get in on the double dutching this whole time. You know, I'm just joking.
There you go.
But
now you get to see what I be talking about.
But I'm with her. I'm not dealing. I ain't got no patience no more. So your kid bad. I'm not dealing with shit.
And it's a difference between spoiled and bad.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it's just like I don't know. I've never been around spoiled kids. I've been around bad kids. I've been around spoiled women, and then I feel like at different degrees of spoiledness. I can deal with some spoiledness. But if you just outright just crying over every single thing you want your way, yeah, I've been around people
that's
like
not
that.
Spoiled. That's in a sense kind of toxic.
Well, whatever you want to call it, they call it spoiled, you know. But
crying because a grown woman crying because she
I
ran
don't
away.
listen. That's another topic. But I done been around women who I can't even tell no.
Yeah.
Like no is this girl told me her daddy never told her no, so I should never tell her no. So with that being said, I'm gonna say, as far as like, the only experience I had was I ain't gonna really go through the whole story, but I could tell the first time I met this woman, kids, she made it seem as if her kids were so wonderful and good, but that very first day, we were sitting on the couch. And her daughter came out the room and seen us sitting there. I guess the daughter didn't like us. Sitting there, she tried to introduce us, and the little girl looked at me and just rolled her eyes.
How like?
She like 7, 8. She rolled
that
eyes. Early? She rolled her eyes, and then her mom told her like, "Well, just go in the room. You know, we out here talking." Her daughter told her no. You know, it threw me back. I really want to get up and knock the little girl out of my daughter.
Bro,
so
I wish I would have told. I wish we would have told Miss Shirley Grimsley no.
Nah, I wasn't even the bad part yet. But so she told her no, and then once she laughed it off. The mother laughed it off and told me like, she don't normally act like this, and I'm like, yeah, right.
Right.
Because you ain't shocked.
Yeah, because if like any black parent, your child tell you no,
if
you wouldn't be sitting there talking about, oh shit on you.
You'd be like, hold on a second.
But then she told the girl to go in the room, and the girl started screaming no again, and then she like, he ain't my daddy, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, wait, what? And I was confused. I don't know what was said at the house before I got there. And then the girl went in the room and slammed the door in her door. Mom face.
At 7?
Yeah, man. Slammed the door and locked the door. And
at 7?
And the mama was standing right there at the door when she slammed it. I was like, ooh.
At 7? I'm trying to tell you.
So that's when I knew I was in a sticky situation.
How long did?
Oh, I was only with her probably like a week after that. I tried to take that first experience to try to say, you know what, maybe this is a bad day for everybody.
He's talking about
maybe I didn't start off on the wrong foot.
Maybe this is bad because I really liked old girl. But then after, I think it was 3 more times I went over there, I knew it wasn't going to work out. So I just went ahead and went my own.
How long was y'all talking before that first initial sit down or encounter?
Probably like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So, you know, I just had my kid. My kid was still baby. So, I mean, I wasn't really trying to meet other people's kids. I was worried about my own kids.
I got my own kids.
I was like, I went. So when she told me, you know, you want to come with her, I actually, then she stayed with her mom. Matter of fact, all that same night was weird. Because her mom, after that night, I went home the next day. Her mom called me, right? I'm trying to figure out how mama got my number. So her mom called me and said, what are you doing with my daughter? And why are you with my daughter? And I'm like, wait, what?
Wait, how old were y'all?
No, We was in our mid-20s. She was older than me. She was like 28. I'm like 25.
Okay,
wait, I'm
15,
so lost. Why is
So,
your mother calling another grown man?
Listen. So then, after I was like, I don't even want to talk to you, lady. You know, hung up the phone. So I text old girl. I said, why you giving your mom my number? She like, I didn't even know. She called you. I didn't even know she even had your number. She must have went in. Her mom admitted her. She went in her phone, got my number. To
So
call.
you have a lock on your phone?
Listen, I don't know what type of it, but I knew right then and there that wasn't a black house. It had to be. They look black.
I'm sorry.
But they wouldn't. Nah, that was it. And I'm not trying to discriminate. Just from growing up with white people, sometimes going in their house is different from black households. And that household definitely went.
Like, I'll be honest in reference to touch on cell phones. Like, I'm 31. My mother is the only person who does have the password to my phone only for emergency cases.
She'll give it to me.
We're gonna touch on that also.
No, because I'm sorry, I don't have a significant other. So if something was to happen to me and she needed to get like my videos to upload something in my honor or anything, I told her if anything happens to me, this is the passcode to my phone.
I got it too for your Facebook.
Oh, you is? So you the person that I...
Yes, I am the person.
Yeah, and my sister is person because I don't have a significant other. So if something happened to me, I need my people to have access to my stuff.
What's up?
What's wrong with that?
Family, that's what I'm talking about.
That's like having a beneficiary.
A beneficiary for Facebook.
I have a beneficiary for my Facebook and I have one for my phone. So if something happens to me, my mother knows the code to my phone.
I'm a beneficiary.
I don't have anything to hide.
For money reasons if I die. But not none of my social media. I need people to. Matter of fact, my home, I need you to delete my browser when you see the video. All that. When you see me, I need y'all to go ahead and just throw the phone in the water. So, all right, man, just throw it away. Anyway.
I don't have anything to hide.
So. I don't either. I just want you to throw it away.
You got a lot.
Right, sound like it. I don't care.
I'm just
the majority of the stuff on my phone is my music, like my thoughts in reference to writing my music and important pictures and videos and stuff like that.
Now, you know I want to also talk about this podcast. I know that because that subject wasn't going to be long.
Right, that's why I said initially we're doing a freestyle. But
I'm going to tell you this, though.
What?
This is what question I want to ask you with y'all women being here. Y'all both was dating a man. And then after y'all break up, you find out he dating a man. How would that make y'all feel as a woman?
So I'll put this disclaimer out. It is definitely a double standard. When girls go both ways and they decide to go back, everybody forgive them, act like ain't nothing happened. It's a difference when it's a man. And I'm trying to it's still whatever it is, but it's a difference when stuff is entering things that shouldn't be entered. So... If I were to find something like that, I would be devastated. I would be
flag on the blade.
Listen,
we gotta watch this. We gotta. I mean, you okay? You covered.
She didn't say nothing wrong.
You're right.
You didn't say nothing wrong.
You're right.
So I just think I don't know how. And to me, I feel like if we were dating and you felt like, okay, this is the route I'm trying to go, I'm not gonna bash you or make you feel bad for if that's your truth. If you are noticing that you are starting to be fond of that, or if that's something that you just have kept hidden your whole life and now you're ready to be in your truth, by all means, go ahead. But don't you be double dipping back and forth. Like you gonna have to.
Well, that's why you're supposed to be. You said dating, right? Not a marriage, right?
Even that, listen.
I mean, nowadays it's some of everything.
What if, I'm saying.
I couldn't imagine.
But you know what?
You find out that your ex, soon after he left you, he go with a man.
Well, technically that's on him.
Oh, yeah. If it's an ex, I still feel, the only thing I'd be like.
That was after me. You said after me.
No, I said y'all broke up. Mm-hmm. And then next relationship is a man.
That's on him. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I still be like, wow, people ain't touching him and me.
That's what I'm saying. That wouldn't make y'all feel no type of way.
It'll be the slight thought, but I feel like I'm protecting myself. And if it was dating, I probably would be handling everything the proper way. And I would be secure in knowing that I've been getting checked out or whatever. But that's on you.
For me, first of all, this is why I am celibate until I get married. And I know some people, may find that hard to believe.
But what if he? But
let me answer the question. In reference to that, that's after me. That's not, number one. Where maybe if I was younger, or maybe if for an insecure person, I'm not gonna say woman because this could be a question for vice versa as well.
They like that type of stuff.
Who's they?
Keep going. I'm sorry.
I don't know who they is.
I apologize.
You said some people like that type of stuff.
She trying to label all men. She trying to label all men like most of y'all women that see me or that automatically think I'm this way and I'm not. This is a prime example of what I got to go through.
Was she talking about you though?
Yeah, she pointed at me.
I said men. So I was speaking of men in general. Most men like girls that go both ways.
What?
It's kind of
some men, not all men.
I didn't say all. I said most.
But go ahead. What you were saying now? Because she was.
But in reference to that, because who I am, I know who I am. I'm secure within myself. I love myself. I know what I stand for. I know that I'm a beautiful black woman. That's on him. That ain't got nothing.
Shaquille, let me ask you.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Shaquille, let me ask you this. What if your fiance and you find out he was gay before he even got to you? He was gay. I'm talking about all of the gay. But he was a man and gay, but then he changed his life over to the Lord, right?
Okay.
And then you find out he sit you down like, I got something to tell you on my past because I know it's gonna come up.
So this is my remedy.
What would you say then?
This is my remedy to that. This is why it's very important that you pray about everything. Because one thing that I know, I can't speak for anybody else but for myself and my walk with Christ. If I want to know something, and in the dating process, I'm going to be asking the Lord if there's anything that I need to be made aware of. Show me. God, show me, because I asked Him. What you ask for, He will show you. I personally believe, and I know some people may feel like, oh, was she making it seem like this, and this, she avoiding the question. No, when you have a true walk with Christ, it's certain things that you should be praying for in your future spouse. And that's one of them. Lord, is there anything that I need to know? Let me know before I get myself too involved with this person, because I believe that God is going to show me. I don't know what y'all believe, but for Shakina's walk with Christ, anything that I need from God, He is going to show me. So I believe that if I was in a situation like that, God would have already showed me that, or had a situation to where it would have got brought to my attention, whether a third party would have said, "Hey, I know that this y'all talking, and this is something that you may want to investigate or look into." I know God is going to show me.
I get what you're saying, but is you going to talk to him still? You going to continue to marry him?
Once I find out,
yeah,
that he was,
yeah,
I would have concerns. Honestly, is that something that you still struggle with?
Let me ask you a question. You about forgiveness, right? You about forgiveness, right?
Right, I am about forgiveness, but in reference to,
so he can't change into a straight man.
I'm not saying he can. You didn't allow me.
That's what I was gonna get on that.
You not allowing me to finish.
I want to talk about that.
Cause you talked about this like about a year or two ago.
I don't recall, but I want to talk about different stuff.
Well, your memory back good.
But look, okay, can I? Because it's certain stuff you keep going to.
What you asked me? Would I forgive him? I can't forgive him for something that he did prior to me.
No, I'm saying, why judge him if he's showing you that he's a straight man this whole time when you're about to get married?
If he opened up to me and told me, if I'm let me but let me make sure I'm answering your question. Are you asking me, once I found out we're not married,
y'all about to get married,
we're about to get married, and he tells me that he used to be, we would have to have a serious conversation. I would have some questions. Some questions in reference to, is this something that you honestly like? Talk to me. Number one, in my dating phase, I want to get to know you. I want to know your way of thinking. What are the things that you struggle? I have to have communication with you. Like, I don't want to be in a marriage where I feel like we keep secrets from each other. We're one. When we come together, we are coming together to tie the knot, to become one. I pray to God, and I've already said my prayer to God on what type of husband I want. I cannot be with a man who we don't have communication. I need to know, like, that's what I want, and I know God is going to give me that. So, in reference to that, if we were to talk, we would have to have a very serious conversation because I would want to know, do you still struggle with
All right, Abby, let's see what you got to say.
Okay, so I had two like little in what you were saying. So you were saying that, you know, with your relationship. Well, let me start off with the first one. So me, I look at it both ways. With who I am right now today, because I am not in tune with my star player, meaning God, like He know me, I know him, but the relationship is supposed to be way better.
Okay.
But this Ebony, I would say I probably wouldn't be cool with it. But I feel like once I get to the person that I'm supposed to be and all that good stuff, I think I can't really call myself, you know, a Christian or really say like, oh yeah, I'm this type of person, and I don't forgive that. So I think it would depend on where I am in life, and how comfortable I feel in that situation. Because I can't be somebody who say, "Oh, I'm here with God," but then I'm judging you for your past. Because all of us got our own past. So who are we to be like, "Oh, well, that's not," you know, that's a hypocrite. So that's that on that. But on what you were saying, how you pray for this and you pray for that. Of course, we all know God is a forgiving God, and things that in our human mind, what we consider is so crazy, in the Bible, all sins are equal. So even though we put different stuff on a pedestal about, oh, that person just...
There ain't no big sin or little sin, they all sin.
They're all sins. And I feel like we humanize, or we change it up and be like, oh, the gays are just this, that, no, they're going to hell. But you lying, that same hell, you're going to be right along with them.
That part.
So I feel like you made the statement of, oh, well, you pray for this and God know what you want and da-da-da-da. But since God is a forgiving God, you never know if that actually the person that you done prayed up might be that man that used to be like that.
I get what you're saying.
And so,
I don't, what? Go ahead, finish.
Well, no, yeah. So basically, like, what if that guy you prayed for happened to be this guy who something happened to him when he was younger, he was going the wrong way, and then God done called him back to do the right thing.
And that's why I mentioned, you, logically speaking, if you were about to get married to your spouse and they told you that, a normal person, we need to have a conversation, a serious, in-depth.
I was only saying because you were in the beginning of your spiel, you were saying that you pray for certain stuff and God know what you want. So that was the only reason.
But the thing, because he's and what you're referencing is that this was his past, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So moving forward, meaning this is something back then. But with you bringing that to me because of that situation, we would need to really have a deep conversation. And what I mean by deep is, do you struggle with that? I would want to know, is that something that you struggle with?
Okay, well,
because if you struggle with it, that means you could potentially get tempted into doing it again. And I don't know how comfortable I would feel with you potentially keeping that secret from me and dipping back and forth if we go forward with the marriage.
Let me say this, right? So I know most men don't care. I care though, as far as when it comes to women. So I just had this recent couple of weeks ago.
He appears to be a little.
She gonna see this because she is my friend on Facebook, but I ain't gonna say her name. But we went out on a date probably like 2 months ago, and she revealed to me she had relations every now and then with one particular woman. I told her to be open. She wasn't gonna tell me at first, but she seen how honest I was on the date. She felt comfortable enough to tell me. So I told her I ain't judging, but I knew you couldn't. I couldn't. You couldn't date. I like you got to either choose one of the other. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the old Devin, yeah, I want a kid. Like I want a kid.
So she's bi.
She don't call herself bi.
I know date. Well, I'm because in politically correct, I have some friends in the community, so I don't know how you guys consider everything, but she wasn't full out just on the girl. She was talking to both girls and boys.
Nah, she just having sex with one particular female. So in her mind, she thinks she's straight with. Hey, she can think. Listen, listen.
Because she date one girl.
It's either you do
it's
it
not
or
even
you
a date. It just be messing around.
Yeah.
So in her mind, yeah, and I'm like, you can think what you want to think. That's between you and God. I'm not judging. What I'm basically saying is, when she presented it to me, I guess she was letting me know what she had going on, and I'll let her know, like,
I respect that.
But that ain't for me.
Yeah, I said, if we date, you would have to leave that alone. That would have to be like something that you have to let go, because I'm not, dealing with that. And I know, because I know she, and I told her, like, maybe other guy might be cool with it, and they probably like, oh, we should have a threesome. Well, she said, yeah, they always do that. I said, well, I don't want to do that because I'm pretty stingy and stingy.
Oh, so basically in that case, even if y'all were dating, that was something she would still partake in.
Yeah, no, she didn't initially say that. I was putting that on notice. So, I ain't waiting for no, because, a lot of people like during the dating phase got this whole thing like, if you don't ask the question or bring it up, then technically they ain't gotta tell you. No, I'm gonna put you. Yeah, I'm gonna let you know off top.
I'm not with this.
Yeah, so if we continue to hang out and date, then that's something you would have to completely let go. Like, I'm not dealing with that side. And
that's respect on both parts. Like, you're basically letting her know this is what I'm not okay with, and at least you're letting her know that, so she doesn't have to get so caught up and you expect her to do something that she was never willing to do. So it stops both of you guys from wasting y'all time.
The crazy thing about
it, and that's why you should pray.
We talked about this on the last podcast.
That is why you should pray.
But the one of the other podcasts, with the whole being honest, yes, I'd rather put everything on the table so it can be an understanding. Most of the time when I talk to women or date women, they always trying to say, well, I don't want to tell you everything. But that's on you. Because
how do you build a relationship without communicating?
Listen, that's their own point of view, because to them they say if they tell everything, then a man will try to act like that.
Well, I believe it's in waves. You open up a little bit.
Well, I feel like,
and then you see where it goes.
Well,
and you take baby steps until you get to a point.
Well, I feel like I just ask regular questions. If I say
taking baby steps.
If I say what's your type, I would say probably like 70% of women in the dating world don't want to tell me what their type is. They just tell me shit. Shoot, just be yourself, and then I'll let you know. I told her, to me that's a waste of time. Because I can let you know right then and there. I'm gonna let you know, because she tell me, oh, I like my feet side. I'm not massaging feet, so you might want to find somebody.
What?
No, I'm just saying. I'm using that as an example. Oh. She's coming to me like, oh, I like this during affection. I don't do that. Like, I'm gonna let you know, and I'm not willing to do that. So that's why, if you let me know now what you like, I can let you know, hey,
and we not gonna work. Yeah, we ain't gonna. That makes sense, and I think that's the problem with the dating industry now.
Because I think a lot, I think me and you talked about this before. It's like people been hurt so much in the past. It's like they're afraid to open up.
Not even open up. They don't know what's real or not, because they've been lied to so many times.
That's why
they don't know what's real or not. So now everybody after that has to suffer.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
And so now when they still don't keep getting it wrong.
But that's why you should take your time. Yeah. You should definitely take your time. And I'm saying that because I'm learning to take my time. Like, I find more peace in taking my time instead of being all happy. Because, and I'm picky. It's just certain things that just makes me not want to do. It's certain things, like you can walk a certain way, or I'm not even gonna say the way that they walk. It's just you can get the vibe, you sense the energy, and it's like, no, Lord, God is already telling me that He ain't it. He not it.
That ain't it.
This ain't gonna work.
Because I'm gonna say, because even during that time when me and that girl I was just talking about, so we didn't talk about everything. So I remember I was around her probably like 3-4 days straight. You know what I'm saying? Over at her house, right? She invited me over. So she didn't tell me, like, I ain't got no shame in my game. So she didn't tell me she wanted me to leave. She just never insinuated it. No, I'm thinking she wanted me to stay, because that's how most females that I'm around, y'all want me around. Right? So, listen. So she did like this that last day. And she was like, trying to insinuate, and I wasn't trying to, and finally she just came out. And it threw me off. And I'm like, why you just, and I'm like, why you just tell me? Right? And I'm thinking myself, it ain't never happened to me before. So I was embarrassed.
I want to make sure I understand.
Go ahead. You understand. Go ahead. You just trying to make a joke. Go ahead.
You was at this girl house 4 days straight. Was this going home and then coming back the next day, or you was just there 4 days straight?
Nah, so the original plan was for me to spend the night, right?
One night.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
So then I was
He's
going.
talking about, yeah, we talking about
Yeah,
that.
so I was gonna go home, right? But then I felt like I thought she wanted me to stay, so I insinuated that from the behavior. You feel me? So this is what. Listen, hold on. Most time I can read women. I read her all the way wrong. Right? So I think the first 2 nights, I think the first 2 days she was good, but I think around by that 3rd day, that 4th day,
he still.
yeah, I think she was. So
What?
so
Listen.
So when she finally said,
How did she say it? I don't know now.
No, she said it in a nice way. She was trying to be nice because she knew I didn't mean to do it. Like I was trying to stay there on purpose, like most dudes, who homeless. You feel me?
I got somewhere to go.
But I think she knew I wasn't doing it on purpose. I think she just knew that I felt like we was just having so much fun and we just enjoyed each other. So she said it in a nice way. Then she tried to give me a hug. I felt like it was a petty hug. I felt like it was a petty hug. She was like, "It's okay, we like each other." Woo, woo. And I said, "Hold
I need the verbiage."
Listen, I'm telling you what she said.
Stupid.
She tried to give me a hug. She did like this. She like, "I really do like you. Don't take it personal." She said, "I want to see you. I want to see you this weekend." I'm like, don't do that. Because I felt embarrassed. Not only I was embarrassed, number 2, I was like, yeah, I done read her all wrong. Now I look foolish. Now I'm over here like I'm trying to stay over at this girl crib. She's like, so she kept insinuating.
You like
So she kept insinuating, I know you wasn't trying to stay on purpose. I was like, listen, you talking to me like I'm one of the other niggas.
Like I'm ace.
Like, you know what? That's exactly how I was thinking. And I was like, I ain't never been in no situation like this before. And I said, let me get up out of here. And I felt so embarrassed, I just stopped talking to her because I was embarrassed. Yeah, I did. It is what it is.
Pride. That need to be another topic.
So I literally threw that in the garden. Threw that like, we try again somewhere else. And whatnot.
I'm ashamed of you.
So I did reach out to try to, not to apologize. Just say, how you doing? I could see she left me on red too.
It was dead. It was dead.
I was like,
because it's like you already overstayed your welcome. Then I tried to give you hints. You missed all the hints.
No, she threw hints. It's just that last day she was throwing hints.
Okay, well, you still that whole day because you said 4 days. So all day you ain't reading none of them hints. Mm-hmm. She gave it to you the nice way, thinking, I do still like you though. But just this is a little too much. Mm-hmm. And then you just left and there was nothing else said. I'd be like, oh yeah, he already was over there at my house. I think he was trying to live with me too. You done already messed it up.
She probably was straight clowning him.
It went from, I overlooked that. I think it was just miscommunication to, girl, he had the nerve to try to stay in my house. It was 4 days. I had to basically tell him to get out.
I'm going to just say this.
And then he stopped talking to me at the end.
Listen.
I'm going to let him live with me.
See, listen. At the end of the day, whether she doing that, it don't make me no different because I already know God know my intention.
No, we were just saying.
No. I know, but I wouldn't care anyway. Any dude, any person that know me, no, I don't care if she talks that way. Exactly. Because what I tell all my homeboys who be crying for one female is a million of them out there in these streets.
A lot of fish in the sea.
There's a lot of fish, so I don't see why y'all be trying to kill, rape,
some of us
kidnap.
So it be like that sometimes.
Listen, some of them I be like, you need to replace them. Stop. Alright? So
I find that people a lot this my personal experience from what I see, I could be wrong, but it's like nowadays people like toxic people.
Somewhat.
That's how I feel. I feel so out of place with certain people, with the majority of the world. I'll say that.
I think it depends on the level.
Even my sisters
toxic.
say that about me. Yeah.
Oh, you toxic?
No, that I be feeling out of place because it's just certain things that I don't do. Like, and it's not like I'm a bougie. I know I'm a fun person. I like to have fun. When I get married, it'll be a whole nother different type of situation. But right now, I'm not married, so I need to act like an unmarried woman in a Christian way.
Facts.
You know the crazy thing about it?
You feel what I'm saying?
You know the crazy thing about it is, I think people just get caught up with the idea of being in relationships and marriage, and so they you sometimes that's like I wasn't thinking. All over that old girl crib wasn't thinking.
All day.
All day. See, and I didn't want to tell the story in front of her.
All day.
I didn't want to tell the story in front of her because I knew she was gonna drag the thing out. Ooh. But this one right here.
Oh.
But I ain't ashamed of my. I mean,
we all slip up every now and then.
Of my truth. And I should have known because I don't even like people over at my place. For 2 days.
So he did something to somebody that he wouldn't have wanted them to do.
You're right. I don't care how much I like you.
It sounds like you really liked her.
I did.
Yeah.
And it's okay to
you
really
just
like
happy.
somebody. It's okay
to
really like somebody. And
how you get overzealous sometimes with your conversations.
Wouldn't it be nice?
I like to talk to people because
I know you got a whole big family that you talk to.
I have a big family, but I don't talk to my family every day.
So
do I talk to my family every day?
So podcast viewers who are watching this, if you're Facebook friends with her, just send a message out.
No, please don't.
Hello,
I'm really low key antisocial.
But see what I mean? But
I'm very antisocial.
So she gonna go, hey, I see why nobody want to talk to you.
Hold on a minute. People say that they love me. People like being around me.
I'm confused. First minute, you don't talk to nobody.
First of all, you wanted to
wait.
You wanted to do this podcast with me, so that automatically lets me know that I am somewhat a cool person.
But that's me.
Let me explain.
You make it seem like you ain't had nobody.
Wait, let me explain. So she's shy.
Okay.
To a degree.
Wait.
Okay.
I am.
She's shy.
Okay. I'm seeing it.
You have to warm up to her. She got to see who you are. You got to see who she is. Okay. And then once you get to know her, she's very aggravating.
That's
so
all I love.
You have to go through steps. So people are like, oh, I thought you were so quiet. Is your sister mean? She's so quiet. She's not. She's loud, aggravating.
But my family knows that that's just me. And when she say aggravating, she don't mean like aggravating like...
No, I mean aggravating.
But I do it out of love. That's my way of showing love.
I don't know what it's called when I get it.
So when I aggravate you, first of all, you aggravate me. My sister finally...
Last night in that meeting, boy, you was getting on my nerve last night in that meeting.
I was having a very rough day.
She got to work on her people skills. That's what it is.
I was having a rough day. I have good people skills.
Let's talk about cheating relationships. For example, with is co-inspiring on the internet with this guy. Him cheating on his wife. And so, how do y'all feel about cheating?
I'm gonna be honest.
Just cheating, period.
That's one of my worst fears. And I'm not gonna say worst fears if I have fear in Christ, but that's why.
Could you forgive? If y'all married.
I can't say no and then I can't say yes.
With kids.
I can't say no and I can't say yes because it's certain things that you want. I can say no, I won't forgive him, and then if I was to get into a situation and my husband, God forbid that to happen, and let's say my husband was to cheat, my future husband was to cheat on me, I could say right now, no, I'm not taking him back, and then in my marriage, I could take him back. I can't speak for that because, and I don't want to use the phrase love makes you do crazy things.
It does.
But it's like when you really love someone, it's when I think about the fact of marriage, I've never been married, but my thoughts around marriage, that's very sacred to me. And that it's personal. Like that I'm being open and transparent. If I was to ever when God blesses me with a husband, if I was to find out that my husband cheated on me, I believe that would crush me. Because I would, me personally, and naturally, and I know some people may feel like, oh, well, I do this. I can only speak for me. That doesn't make me less of a woman. That doesn't make me less of anything. I'm a woman. I'm not even gonna say I'm a woman. I'm a human being. I have feelings. In my marriage, I'm gonna take my marriage 100%, 150%. You know what I'm saying? To the max. My love for my husband is gonna be deeper than anything, and it's like to feel that type of hurt. I wouldn't even know what to do.
What about boyfriend and girlfriend?
Boyfriend? Oh, baby, you have to go. I can't do that.
What about you, Eboni?
Because if you cheat on me during that phase, you ain't gonna be loyal to me in my marriage.
I want to hear his answer.
I think it depends on the situation. Everything it depends. Okay, so I feel as if it depends on the situation. I think outside looking in, anytime we hear about people getting cheated on, whether it's a boyfriend and girlfriend or whether it's a relationship versus a marriage, everybody is so quick to be like, oh, because I would have left, I would have did X, Y, Z. It's you can't say what you gonna do
until you
like, and even when people be like, oh, he had them in a bed, oh, I would have shot him. Like, we saying all of this stuff, but you never know what you would really do. Like, you never know.
And I know people gonna argue with us about that, but
yeah, man,
you don't know what you don't know what you
like. I do believe you got some people that it doesn't matter what their relationship is to that person. You got some people that can just easily cut off people, whether it's a family member, a friendship, a relationship. If you do them wrong, they can easily just be like, oh, this is a wrap, I'm out the door. Some people are just naturally like that, and there's nothing wrong with them being like that. Then you have some people that's going to get 4, 5, 6 chances. You got some people that, I mean, you look, listen, I mean, hey, you be quick to think, and it's easier for you to listen to your people's situations and be like, oh, girl, I wouldn't be doing that, or boy, I would have had to leave that girl. It's easier said than done. Every situation is different. Have I stayed in a relationship after cheating? Yes, I have. If you were to ask me, like, before it happened and how it happened, oh, if this person did X, Y, Z, of course I'll be like, oh, no. Like, now I won't be like, oh, nah, I'm going to do this, because I don't know. Because I done did a bunch of stuff that you couldn't have told me.
Oh, Lord.
Like I said, it's easier. Stuff that I just knew I'd be in jail for. Like, you never know. And I think, and I wouldn't necessarily say love make you do dumb things, because it don't always got to do with love. Sometimes it can be just who that person is to you, whether it's a child involved, because you got people that there's no kids and they still stay. Like, it's every situation is different.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I don't think love make you do anything. To be honest with you.
I think it's just you.
Because just be honest with you, you know, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, that love, the way love is described, it ain't got nothing negative in it. So when you do the stupid stuff, it's your personal choice. Not saying that you are.
Oh no, I know you're talking.
Okay, all right, don't get beat up. but I have been in a situation. I know most people who kind of know me or might look at me and think I'm like a behold. You feel me? But I have stayed with somebody that cheated on me twice, and I had a child with them. So, and then I think that second time around when I broke things off, I think maybe I just wasn't fully healed, so I wasn't ready to take the further on steps. I should never continued that on, or never. I should have never took her back. But I think I probably would have never found out if I was over her or not if I didn't go back. And I was in a whole relationship when I took her back. So I broke off that relationship, which I should have never did, to go backwards.
And still.
And then still went with her, and we had a kid. So I don't regret it because I love my son. But you know, I'd be like, man, I wonder what. No, I'm just playing. I don't think like that. But on some serious note, I don't think people foolish. If you take something, that's your personal choice.
Right.
You know
and a lot of people like to bash.
So a lot of people want to chime in on other people's relationship. A lot of them people don't even have a relationship.
And a lot of them people been done took they person back. Done took
worse.
Charlie back like 5 times, and you over here chiming in on somebody else's marriage.
And then I'm not trying to bash dudes, but I'm getting tired of a lot of these dudes getting over here and talk about like the Derek, what's his name?
Derek Jackson.
And like, see, when you cheat, your dang on self. So why, like, don't give an opinion when you doing dirt yourself, man.
I don't necessarily think his opinion didn't matter, because I would say we've seen, or for me, I've seen, Zumba instructors that aren't that small, and I would think as much as you do this,
that's a good.
That's not what I meant.
But but it does. Like I see my Zumba, well, not my current one, she thick, but I'm saying like I've seen other Zumba instructors And I'm seeing them move the whole time, and where I might have
no, I wasn't
dance.
talking about his opinion.
Oh,
I'm talking about other dudes chiming in. They were ready to like, see, I told y'all.
Oh, basically not to listen to him because he did the same
So
thing.
I'm saying,
yeah, we saying the same thing.
I'm just saying, dudes out here be doing all this dirt and they be trying to sweat everybody else is like them. Yeah, he was like y'all. I was like that at one point. But I all this saying that chicks never change. Yes, they do. People do change.
Facts.
When you literally give yourself to Christ, you do change. That's just the end of the day. You start changing. It might not change overnight.
Say that one more time. When you do what?
When you give yourself to the Lord,
That's
to
what
Christ,
it is.
you do change. So people do change. I done a lot of stuff that I would never thought I would ever do. And whatnot. I ain't gonna see him go through them, but I look at back at something. I'm like, man, I was crazy. So, but go ahead. What you about to say?
I mean, in a sense, that kind of reminds me of, I remember back in the day, me and my sisters was having a conversation, and I don't know if it was Nika or you, but one of y'all was like, you being a hypocrite, you being a hypocrite. I think it was Nika. But it was like, you being a hypocrite, you being a hypocrite. And I was like, look, y'all make it seem as though like I'm this perfect person. I never said I was perfect.
You
are you? But the point I'm trying to make, because I've never said that I was perfect. But sometimes, not just, of course, my sisters are closer to me than anybody else would be. Mm-hmm. So naturally, they're like, oh, you act like this, you act like... But I've never said that I was perfect. So are you expecting me to not tell you what's right? So because I'm not perfect, which, nobody is perfect. Nobody. I'm talking to everybody.
Sometimes
listen, can I finish?
Sometimes you might be overzealous with the Lord's word.
Nobody is perfect. Meaning even your pastor, even the people that you hold to the highest regard, nobody's perfect. So does that mean that you're not supposed to take advice from those people? Are they never supposed to tell you what's right and what's wrong?
Depending on how you're giving it to them.
True. But just because somebody tells you something, why are people so quick to say, well, you do X, Y, and Z? Okay, I know I do. We're not talking about that. I'm telling you that you shouldn't do this. I'm not saying that I'm perfect.
I'm gonna tell you why.
And I remember,
I was like,
let me finish. Okay, I'm not done.
Go ahead.
And I want to say it was Nika, and it was, I think, I don't like y'all right now.
For her, I agree. Yeah, it was.
But I think it was Nika. I don't think it was Eboni. But I want to say, when I put it to her like that, it was almost as if like a light bulb came off, and it was like, you know what? Technically, you right. Like just because you can have the worst of the worst person who done did any and everything. Does that mean that person doesn't know what's right?
That mean that person can't tell me nothing.
But does that mean that person doesn't know?
I get what you said.
But answer the question. That's a yes or no answer. Does that mean, prime example, being a cheater, does that mean that person should not tell somebody, I know what I do, but you shouldn't do that?
Listen.
That means I can't say anything?
I'm telling you.
Because in a sense, that's like...
Can I say why?
That's weird.
I'm going to say this. It's weird to a certain extent. So I used to be like you when I first came to Christ. I used to talk to people trying to tell them what to do.
Because God can use anybody.
I understand that.
God can use anybody.
When you're talking to someone who's not into Christ as much as you cannot, everybody's on different levels.
True.
So you cannot just approach everybody the same way. So when you giving advice, you have to look at they level. They might not be ready to the way you're saying it. So you're going to have to present it in a different way.
Of course, being mindful of how you talk to people. Yeah.
So that's all I'm basically saying. So when you're talking to people, automatically, they don't even want you to know their business anyway. And when you know it and you trying to tell them about it, now they're going to feel like you judging them. All right? Yeah, that's
so how can we distinguish between when someone's judging us and when somebody is just giving us honest truth?
But sometimes I don't want advice from my people. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that voice might need to be coming from an outside voice. See, a lot of my mom said growing up, I never paid attention to. But then when I met this guy named Mr. Mathis, he said the exact same thing, and I was like...
It was easy for you to listen to. I think a lot of people have that same thing. Because my mama said it, I don't hear it.
So basically what I'm saying is, if you see you're not getting through, you need to pray for them and so they can find someone that they can get through with. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It might not be you.
But it wasn't even that type of situation. It was just in general. I don't know what we was discussing.
No, you said advice, right?
It wasn't necessarily giving advice. It was almost as if like me speaking on something that may have been happening in that moment.
Exactly.
And my response, when I said what it was that I said, and her response to that, I said, okay, because it wasn't an argument or nothing like that. We were just having a genuine conversation. I was like, but check this out. Y'all know I'm not perfect. So does that mean I'm never supposed to give you the right way to do something? And it was almost as if she was like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, because I would have said that. I would have been like, yeah, no, I disagree. Like,
I want to say it was because it wasn't in an argument.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a issue that we was going through or anything like that. We were actually, it was like we was talking about something and I brought it to her. We was in the car having a discussion and I was bringing up a situation like that happened between us. they playing the Connect. But it was a situation where I was like, it made me think. I was like, a lot of times I be wanting to say something, but I feel like I can't say anything because y'all make me feel like I can't say anything. But I don't say that I'm perfect. I was like, how can I tell you as your older sister when you're doing something wrong, when every time if I was to say something, you making me feel like I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm trying to tell you what's the right way to do something.
Think for me,
and it was like the light bulb clicked and she was like, you know what, Keena, you right.
I think for me, I know when I'm doing something wrong. So I don't necessarily need you to tell me I'm doing something wrong, but it wasn't even nothing like that. But it wasn't even nothing like that. I know, but I'm just saying for me, because I feel like the topic changed a little bit. For me, if I'm doing something wrong, I'm sure 100% I know I'm doing this wrong. So I don't need you to tell me I'm doing something wrong when we both know I'm wrong. And then you definitely can't tell me I'm doing something wrong when you got other stuff you doing wrong. Right. So it's like, for me, that's too many double negatives all grouped together.
But that's not the way, that wasn't my example.
Don't you talk to me, I know.
Listen.
But that wasn't my example.
I know your example is different. She was throwing that out there. But I am with her. I'm like her a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might be in the midst of I know for me, I might be in the midst of my craziness. And then I got the person I don't want to say nothing come and try to tell me something. And I'm like, why did you even talk to me right now?
Like, we both know I'm wrong.
And I think it depends on who the person is that's telling you that in your relationship with that person. Because like you mentioned earlier, whether you're going to be a little more receptive to what they're saying or you're not.
Yeah, because I'm not perfect. And there's certain people, I know for a fact, right now, I forgave, but I still don't want to hear nothing they got to say.
You just not there yet with them yet.
Yeah, especially when I continue, especially when I continue to see them living their life the way they living their life.
Yeah.
So and I don't judge. Like I said, I don't judge people. You do what you do. That's between you and God. But when I see you on a daily basis doing your thing, and then you trying to come back and try to crucify me, because it's easy to crucify somebody when they're down.
But what we're talking about is not crucifying someone. We're talking about. I
know that's a strong word, but them my words.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I understand where you think I'm going there. No, what I'm saying is this.
You're saying when they do crucify you.
No, he's saying talk to me. Period.
Yeah.
He just using the word crucify.
Yeah. You get what she's saying?
I get what you're saying.
Lost.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But when you said crucified,
that was just the wording he used.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad she understands. So
we're also trying to make sure the podcast viewers understand what your example. That
I'm only joking with you.
No, you're not.
Sorry. She's mad.
No, you're not.
She's
literal.
Oh my goodness. But okay, the next subject.
Thank you.
The next subject is what is matter of fact, no. Just sticking on top of the cheating. Do you feel like you foolish for taking them back? Do you feel embarrassed?
I think
taking who back? The one
the person that cheated. To me, this is what it all boils down to. I think you will always have someone who cheats and somebody that's going to take them back, and in their relationship is going to determine whether or not they're going to keep cheating or act right. I think the media also alters people's decisions, because I will be honest. I feel like I don't really care what people say, but I feel like if I was like famous and you got all these tweets, all this rah. I think that would gear people more so to leave a person when if they were just normal
that
people,
means that they're easily
they
influenced.
probably. But I wouldn't even say easily influenced because I can sit up here and be like, oh, I wouldn't let nobody, and I don't care about what people say, but I only know a handful of people. Like, I don't have no followers. Yeah, and even though
everybody in your business now.
Yeah, and we can easily say, well, worry about yourself and them people don't matter, but I wouldn't know how I would react if I was famous and had all these people coming.
Let's take the famous out. We talking about regular people.
So just regular smackers.
Listen, regular people who put all their business on social media. you can talk about that. I know for me, a lot of people don't know what I be doing because I don't discuss it, even if I'm dating. Yeah, all my friends know.
Oh, you one of them secretive people who.
I'm very secretive, so when they be like, but my homegirls do know. So if I do like travel in different, because I travel a lot, and I might fly to different cities, and I'm like, man, shoot, I'm here. And my homegirl like, you ain't here to see me. What girl? Oh, and not. So they kind of know, because they know, because I would probably. Gave him a heads up.
You would have told him ahead of time if you was stopping by.
So now I'm just popping up in the city like, nah, who you really here to see? You know what I'm saying? But as far as like me knowing, I tell people at the last minute, and even now, I think when I get married, I'm gonna tell that at the last minute. I'm gonna just already be married a good year before I post it on social media.
Well, but why would you wait a whole year?
But wouldn't the people that should know would have been at the wedding?
They're gonna have it's gonna be at the door. It's gonna be the basket. Put your phones in the nothing.
Why you want to do that?
Get your phones back at the reception.
Why? Why you want to do that?
I'm only saying that now because of my last real serious situation. I actually told people, and then as soon as I told it.
It's like backlash. So you're still you still have wounds at this present.
I ain't gonna say
not wounds, but I don't mean to say wounds.
Me and the girl gonna get married.
I don't like that. I feel like that's
me and the girl was gonna get married.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I threw the invitations out,
it backlash, right?
Did it?
But that wasn't because y'all was finna get married.
I'm not saying that, but
I'm
not saying that's the reason why. But I felt embarrassed because now I'm told because all my friends were like, oh man, you. Devin? They was like, that's what they kept saying. I'm like, yeah, man, this is going down. And then, boom. So now I was like, shoot. And then everybody kept asking me, no, what happened to the old girl? I don't want to talk about it. So that's why I said. But I'm not saying that I'm not realistic. No female is gonna realistically let me do that. They're not gonna do that.
At all. That sounds like you got a whole other family out of town and you
like, why you don't want nobody
back.
Why you don't want nobody
But why you gotta post it on social media? That's a question. That's a real question.
What's the question?
What social media got to do with anything?
Social media got to do with what?
What's the relationship?
So my significant other doesn't like social media, and I do dislike it. But that is something from day one. Yes, I use it. But like that wasn't something that happened and they got caught and then all of a sudden now they don't like it. Like that's something from day one that I automatically knew it was no secret about. So I would say yes, if that don't work out and I get somewhere else, then that's something I'm not gonna be okay with. If you are a type of person who, and not to, I wouldn't say that you're a type of person who don't like to be on. If I can't, and I wouldn't say I can't post you, but it's just because I think I gotta make sure it makes sense. Like you do have certain people that don't like social media, or don't want you to post. And I'm not saying post them, but post certain things because that could just be the type of person that they are. I wouldn't talk to a new person like that.
Every time I mess with something, they literally take pictures with me not looking. I'm sleeping, and then I have to look on their stories and see me on that. Like, so to me, that's
so in a sense, it's almost as if like if you're doing it kind of comes off like you're doing it because you're wanting the attention.
Boom. That's all I have to say because they already know how I feel, so they do it because with me not looking, because they know I'm not gonna approve it, and me approving it had nothing to do with what I'm trying to hide. I don't know you. I didn't even tell nobody about you
Wait,
yet.
so these people, that's
Then
weird.
when he said
Why
that
would
they took a
be
picture of
posting?
him while he's not looking, that is weird.
That is weird.
Or I'm laying down and then.
Why would you take a picture of?
You know that little boomerang thing with the thing
you just see a story and it's a picture of you and it's like, I ain't post this. Where this come from? That's
It's
weird.
on their story, so I'm friends with them, so of course I see it. And then I'm like, and I don't say nothing about it, because in my mind I'm like, man, I'm in that era to where when a female get excited, they really be trying to show off. Like,
to me, it's like, and that's
it's
why
more show offy.
It's almost as if like, are you doing it because you want people to know you have a significant other, or are you doing it because you really want that? Like, this is how you are. You're trying to show off.
But do you tell them show off like don't? Are you so? If y'all were in a relationship, you would be okay with it, but y'all wouldn't on that type of time level to be like taking pictures and posting each other.
Yeah, this one particular girl. Every time I went in town,
she took a picture of you every time.
Every time, man. Now there's some stuff that I agree with. Like when we was going for drinks, and then she wanted to take the 2 drinks. I was cool with that. I didn't care. But then when I started looking at her stories, I leaned across the bed. Yeah, and I kept looking, and I'm like, so I asked her, I said, why you keep... No, I jokingly, while we was...
Behind every joke, there's some seriousness. No. You know my philosophy.
We was doing back and forth. She was trying to come at me, and I was like, oh, just like how you posting me. Like, I ain't see that. And then she got quiet. I'm like, yeah, I see her. Like, you do whatever. It's your story. But just know, when stuff's gonna go right, you the one gotta answer those questions. You the one... That's why I said...
to that dude you was posting?
Exactly. That's why I say wait until you know for sure. Because it might not be me. It might be you. You might wake up one day, you be like, you know what? I don't want to talk to him no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, them girls that post a different dude every month be kind of like, can you wait before you start posting these people?
I would have to honestly say, I didn't post my ex a lot. I don't recall posting him a lot.
I mean, but I think that didn't have anything to do with you or him hiding. I think that was kind of the type of people y'all were. And I think that's a difference because it wasn't like anybody who knew y'all knew that y'all were together. So it's not a secret like...
She right, because if you messing with a dude and you go on his Facebook and you see he just all in the camera all the time posting.
But you don't never see it?
No. I'm just saying, y'all start dating and all of a sudden... Don't post my pictures. Something going on.
Yeah, that's suspect.
So if you got a dude that's always on social media, and all of a sudden now you know what, that's something you should. But if you already got somebody, you go on their Facebook and it's just a little dry, then
you might see a picture of them doing something that somebody else took, but they rarely take pictures. Yeah, like if I were to date somebody else and all of a sudden I'm talking about don't post me, you already know you ain't it. Like, bruh.
Y'all crazy.
I post here 5 seconds, man. If ain't no picture of me and my baby. Oh, yeah. I know, I don't like social media. Don't post me.
I ain't never had to do that before.
You ain't had a relationship.
I remember I had somebody put me on their one of their crush with thing. I was shot up, but they tagged me on Instagram. I'm like, Lord Jesus. Untagged.
That is so embarrassing. I done seen that. You saw that the dude was tagged because I done looked to see what the dude looked like just being nosy. And later on, it wasn't tagged no more.
Exactly. The crazy thing about it is for me was at the time I was dating 2 people at the same time. They were both my friends on Instagram. I said, I had to unfriend her so it can be untagged. Like I blocked her.
Wait, on Instagram you can't untag yourself?
I didn't know how to do it, so I just went to block, and then I unblocked her. So then when she hit me up probably a week later, she like, why am I friends with you on Instagram? I don't know that shit. I thought we was.
Hey, incorrect.
That's a dog move. That's a dog move. Because I don't want you tagging me in pictures.
Because you was talking to another chick.
Yeah, we dating. We were dating. That's what
define dating.
Yeah, for me at that time, dating was I would let you know, hey, every now and then you want to hang out? Yeah, sure. And that's what, me and that girl that tagged me, we hung out that weekend. I didn't hang out with her like I was hanging out with the other girl.
See, because my date, Like we had already discussed, like my talking phase.
I'm not saying that. Listen, I'm not listening. My
dating phase meaning, we talking like in y'all terms.
Yeah, I don't think
if I'm dating you,
the same person,
we kind of like.
Listen, if nothing was talk to me, this is how I look at it. If you don't come to me, or if I don't come to you and be like, I just especially want to talk to you. Now, if you don't come to me, I had only one. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. But I remember this story because I had this one girl, literally knew I was dating a whole bunch of people at the same time. I was dating her. She literally said, hey, listen, I know you out here doing your thing, but you ain't gonna keep coming back and forth to my house. You know? So you gotta make a choice. You can be with me, you're not gonna be with me.
That's right, girl.
So I told her, I said, give me 24 hours. I'm being serious.
Wait.
So I gave her, she gave me 24 hours. She said, cool, I understand. So I went home, I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I kick with her more than anybody anyway. I said, let me see how this goes.
But see, to me, I would respect that more because that gave you the 24 hours
to clear up any other
situation. Gave you at
situation.
least 72 hours. So give you time to do whatever you got to get on out your system.
No, it wouldn't.
Break up whoever you got to let them know it's dead.
No, because for me, I had to be like, do I really want to drop everybody off? Mm-hmm. And then I get with you and you just like,
nah.
Yeah. So that's why I had to give 24 hours. I needed to go think. Like I literally then I had to go through my little thread.
But that's
like,
being honest.
And look at
She a 5. And 5 now is looks, but I'm saying rating them for who they are to
yes, there we go.
This a 5, this a 2, this a 3.
Nah, but I was more like this. I was thinking this is how I think. This even through my whole, side phase. Can I spend the rest of my life with this individual? So I look at how they act. Can I tolerate them for the rest of my life? That's how I pick who I pick. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Now, I might have not been all the way there, so that's why they were screwed up. But...
So did she mess up or you messed up?
Nah, she messed up, actually. Because she didn't reveal certain things about herself until, in the middle. And that was my fault because I didn't ask questions. I didn't ask certain questions. So, okay, for instance... matter of fact, as soon as I came back at 25 hours and said, all right, let's do this. She's like, cool. I want you to come to my birthday party. I'm like, no. I'm like throwing out like, dang, already? Ain't your family gonna be there? I'm like, dang, we just started doing
just made it official.
So she's like, nah, these gonna be my friends. I said, all right, cool.
It was determining if you was coming or the next dude was coming.
That's what that is.
She needed to know who she was
bringing.
Okay, anyway, so listen. So
That's what that was.
This is what irritated me because this is why I didn't last long. So we went to this club. As a matter of fact, it was a club that me and my homeboy Rico. What up, Rico? Wow. But Rico, we used to go to this spot all the time. So I go in there and she introduced all the homegirls. She had like 30 homegirls and that's like, oh, this is my boo. We gonna get married.
That would exhaust me.
Wait, I know you said 30, but was it really a lot of friends?
It was really a lot of friends.
Oh. How do you got that many friends?
So I doubt that all of her was her friends. She was one of them people that like to show off.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
So anyway, so
y'all getting married already?
That's what she was telling people.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm in there like this, like.
What
she like? That's my husband. I'm like, oh,
just decided.
Oh shoot!
I'm tossing them back. I'm like, okay. Nah, I don't like to embarrass. I had that conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Later on, so I was like, I'm gonna just enjoy this night. So then, what went left was when every dude that came up to her started hugging her. She did not introduce me.
Oh,
red flag.
But I'm your husband.
Rogers.
That's somebody that was trying to show off.
So I didn't say nothing. So, but I think her friends could tell I was getting irritated. So I got up instead of I ain't the type of person to be doing an outburst. So I got up and I was like, shoot, I'm finna just turn back into Ace then. So we in the club. So boom, so I went.
that is causing a scene.
No, it's not. So I went all the way because the club's super big.
Mm-hmm.
So she couldn't find me pretty much the whole night. I literally, at the end of the night, I sat at the bar. I was literally talking. I knew the bartender girl from back in the day. So I was telling her about what just happened. Mm-hmm. So she was trying to tell me, man, y'all just started talking. I said, come on, don't tell people I'm your husband. Then you do that. Like, I'm
First
okay.
of all, I wouldn't have said that you was my
Listen,
husband.
I'm okay with you just saying friend. And if you would have hugged them, it wouldn't have made me no difference because you. That's
but
what
you
hyped
this
moment. Right, you hyped this
so
up
it
to
wouldn't
be
even.
something else.
I wasn't in my feelings. The point is now you're hungry, looking at me like I'm some sucker.
Right, that's what
I'm not. I'm Ace.
That part.
Thank you. I'm appreciative. There you go.
Started treating me
so
like
that's why I was upset. It was more how I was portrayed in their eyes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like to myself, like, I don't even know these women, but now every time they gonna see me, I'm like, oh, they that dude.
We don't breathe. She was right there, like, all them dudes. He's like, blood.
So when she found me at the bar, and then she kind of tell her something was wrong. So she's like, let's talk about it now. I'm like, nah, too many people around. Can we get to the car first? Then we can have a conversation. She just kept hounding me. I kept walking away from her. Then she grabbed my arm. And there's an elevator full of people, because you gotta get an elevator to go downstairs to the parking lot. So she in there like loud, like, so you really not gonna talk to me? You really not gonna talk to me? That's what she kept doing. And it got so irritating that
because it was like, chill.
That I blacked out and I yelled. I was like, I told you I'm gonna talk to you in the car. And the cold elevator was like this. Oh, it's not this nigga, man. That's wild. And I think she got embarrassed because of that. So now she was
making herself
she gotta show out. She gotta show out.
So now she was mad.
Toxic.
So now we get in the car.
Toxic.
Now we get in the car. And I want to have a conversation.
She ain't got nothing to say.
She don't want
but
to
you was so big and bad in the elevator trying to.
So I was like, all right, then cool. I said, well, take me back in my car. I'm straight. So, because up my car at her house, so I go home. I get there. She kept like, you been drinking. I don't need you to drive because I stay 45 minutes from my house. I said, can you please just stay here? Can we talk about it now? I said, oh, now you want to talk. You want to talk from the wedding? Now you want to? I said, I ain't on other people's time.
She thought about your safety.
Anyway, so at the end of the day, she wouldn't even talk. She wanted to really just have,
And you would have been okay with that.
No, I didn't. I actually denied it. So I denied it, and I said, I'm not doing anything with you because I feel disrespected. And I feel disrespected. I'm not finna give you what you want and think that's okay. It's just like me giving it to my son. If I don't set the tone now, you always gonna think that I'm some sucker. Hell nah. Nah. So when I actually see other dudes go through this, I like, well, you set the tone already that you a sucker. Mm-hmm. So you can't come over. Don't come over my house in our groups complaining about her. When that's how you present yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So with that is,
go ahead.
She got mad because I wouldn't come in the room, so I slept on the couch. Moved the next day, she cooked me breakfast. She said she prayed. That's what she claimed. Right? So
y'all don't be playing with
over
God.
Breakfast, I'm not playing. That's what she claimed.
No, I said y'all don't be playing with God, but y'all don't see why people be talking about, oh, I prayed on it. Don't do that.
So
don't drag him into this.
She talked to me and told me, say, I understand now where you was coming from. And you know what I'm saying, I apologize. That's what made me sick. Because after that, I was really about to get up and just never talk to her.
It was rap.
But when she apologized, that's when I'm like, all right, well, let me give her another chance because it was the first night. Because I know me. I know I could do a lot of things. I knew a lot of people up in that thing that night. I could just went on love. That's not what I mean by I know a lot of people.
That's what that
sounds like.
So at the end of
we need to have him on the podcast.
Who?
My cousin. Corey, the one that you met at the party yesterday.
Oh, but after
that's what she get that from.
And then as time went on, I should just went and let her go that night in certain things.
Certain
Patterns and certain things I just didn't like. You know what I'm saying? I like affection. She wasn't.
Was it worth all people you cut off, or you feel like they wouldn't have been that good?
Man, I called them back so fast.
You know what?
they're like, and I was posting no girl. Matter of fact, she was well known around the city because she was a hairstylist. She owned her own shop, owned a salon and everything. I used to go up to a salon and sit up there till she was closed.
How long y'all was dating? Or whatever you call it.
It sound like a while.
Nah, it was probably like 2 months.
How you doing all that in 2?
When you really like somebody,
she was like that. Me personally, I was trying to give it time. And okay, matter of fact, this is for instance, right? Then that same relationship, right? I got in a car accident. Like somebody, I was at it like somebody came and, hit me in the back and I ran through the medium. So I got the money for the insurance company to get another car and stuff like that. So I didn't buy another car yet. So she was like, "Oh, you still gonna come see me?" I said, "I don't want to see you. I gotta go look for another car."
She did not let you hold
She
a car.
40, no, I don't care about holding no car. No. So 45 minutes. So 45 minutes. She stayed 45 minutes away. So I said, I don't need your help. I'm gonna still come see you when I'm not in school. So guess what I did? Public transportation real good up there where I'm at. I ain't gonna say the city because I don't want people, because she no, I don't want to even
don't
bring that up.
Yeah.
So I would get on the train and go all the way down to her way. I would go to school, and my college was up the street from my house. So I would literally do stuff I would never do, catch a bus.
Oh, you liked her.
So when I'm saying most dudes would have asked for a ride.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for none of that. You get what I'm saying? So mind you, she gave me like, well, you want to spend the night? So I spent the night that night, and I said, well, my school don't start till 12. My class don't start till 12. So I was planning just to stay here, and I was like, you don't need. You know what the hell said? Nah, you can't stay here.
And y'all was together?
Mind you, yeah, that's what she kept going around her family telling I was her husband again. That's what she told her mom.
If I'm claiming you as my husband, well, so
I mean, claim nobody unless.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you why she said I can't stay. I don't like nobody ain't doing nothing all day. I'm like, I'm going to class. What do you mean I'm not doing nothing all day? Then I'm going to work after that. And she like, yeah.
She just ain't want you there.
She like, yeah.
But
right.
if you don't trust somebody like that, why you calling him your husband?
Okay, I made that point. She fixed that. She apologized for that, and then she wanted me. Oh yeah, you could. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do that no more. Mm-hmm. So far, she never been in my house. Never said my so-called neighborhood was too rough, and it wasn't. White people be jogging there in the morning. White people ain't jogging in the hood.
Yeah.
So she never came to my house. She finally came. She's sitting in there. She's like, as soon as she hit the is my car safe? Oh my goodness.
No.
Is my car safe? And I said, girl, my manager's apartment is white. We stay right next to each other. Promise. She's more white than you, and she ain't staying in no crazy neighborhood. But this is such and such city. Like, I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
You doing too much.
She got in there. All she did was complain. Oh my God, you ain't got the right water I like, and you don't have the humidifier on the faucet. I'm like, listen.
She aggravated me, and I ain't even know.
So she didn't even know I stopped talking to her.
How she didn't know you stopped?
Because I just cut off, right? So I wouldn't answer her calls. She tried to invite me to go to this family outing. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, just looking at the phone, just ring. I had already moved on. I was already dating somebody else. So she texted me. She like, just be real, just be truthful. If you don't want to talk to me no more, just say that. And I said, all right. I said, for her to stop blowing my phone up. Yeah. So I said, I'm done. That's all I put. I'm done.
What you mean?
Nah, I got at least about 4-page letter like Aaliyah. It was just super fast. I knew you was the type of nigga. Woo. You want my bad. I knew you was this type of guy. I knew you wouldn't man enough to let me know my face. I'm like, wait, what?
You just asked him.
Exactly.
But no, you stopped talking to her. You started dealing with other people. So even though she did all her wrong, you wasn't man enough to give her the truth and be like, hey, this is a wrap.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. No, I wasn't right. Ebony is correct. That's not the proper way you do things, especially if you establish in a relationship. But I'm gonna let you know something. Some people, my mom always said, sometimes you gotta slap some person to let them know that you serious. And she had she needed that.
Y'all was so slap. Sometimes you gotta slap a person to let. I ain't never heard that.
Me neither.
I like it though. Sometimes you gotta knock 5. Let them know.
So sometimes that was my way. And no, I didn't do it the right way, but looking back at it.
If you're done with somebody, let them know.
Looking back at it, I'll do the same thing again. So at the end of the day.
Wait, I thought you changed.
Right? I have changed. Now? With her? Nah, I don't. Matter of fact, I was.
Pray.
You being transparent. I mean.
Matter of fact, I flew to Texas. I was in Texas to see one of my people last year. And I was on a dating site and I seen her on there. in Texas. I said, "Oh, she moved to Texas." I said, "Whoop, let me get off this." I don't need her to see me up on anything. And I'm thinking about like warning, and I'm like, I wasn't surprised that she was still single. I wasn't surprised at all. And then she tried to talk to my homeboy.
Oh, she was trying to hurt you.
She was trying to talk to my homeboy. I seen him. I said, man, I ain't know. She knew who he was, but he didn't know.
Oh.
He didn't know who she was. Cause I would talk to him about her, but he never seen no pictures.
Gotcha.
Oh, wow.
So he didn't even know who she was.
So that was done on purpose. She was
she was nasty. She was really nasty.
So when I seen it, I was like, I wasn't even mad at him. I said, do you? Because I already knew what type of dude he was. So I said, do you?
Look, go ahead, have fun.
Pretty much.
Let me know how that goes. But that's toxic. That's toxic behavior.
It is.
So you see why I did what I did? Because I already knew what type of individual
No, still don't make
with.
you right. Too wrong don't make it right.
Okay. Anyway, so like I was saying, yeah. I'm just playing here. Don't play. But I don't know what else y'all want to discuss. It's kind of late.
Yeah, I think we're good for now.
Yeah.
So on that note, that's pretty much it on this podcast. And
Freestyling.
this is another freestyle. I guess want to thank Miss Eboni,
My baby sister,
for coming on this. I guess I want to say
podcast.
on the podcast.
Sitting with us. Glory Talks with Ace.
It's good to have another opinion and
To
to have another opinion and nobody heard it yet. To have another opinion. So if one of my friends, y'all see this, y'all wanna holler at me, man. If one of her Facebook followers and friends see
She's
this,
no shade because she got friends.
one of her followers, hey man, hit the inbox. She tagged me and you can hit mine if you scared to hear hers. And I hollered. And I was like, hey, you can come on the show if you want to. Alright. Eboni, you have anything else you want to say?
No, this was great.
Alright. You good? You
Yeah,
alright?
I'm good.
Why you taking a big breath?
Aggravating.
Alright, man, that's it. What are you looking at me for?
You gonna pray for them?
Oh, yeah, my bad. No girl, let me Father, come in and ask you for being us for saying past and present. Continue to be with us throughout the rest of this night, going into a new week. Thank you for allowing us to just have a good, healthy conversation on as many topics today. Allowed to take some of these life lessons and stuff we learned today and apply to our life. And just hopefully we reach viewers that need to hear some of the stuff that we talk about and help them as well. Just continue to be with us and watch over us. In your holy precious name, amen.
Amen.
All right.